Let's take a closer look at the 3280. You can see the rugged case. This is IP65 rated when it's closed and IP54 when it's open. Now this tester itself stores results inside its internal memory, but if you want to take them off, port them into the computer, the USB port is located under this cap. And you port those onto the computer, and with the software you can analyze your test results, generate certificates, test reports, and also that's where you're going to create your auto sequences. We haven't created any yet, but that's where you're going to find them once you've ported them into the tester. Let's move right into a single-phase transformer turns ratio test, which we'll select from the menu right here. First, I'll show you the visual checks, which are a set of safety checklists you can go through before, during, and after the test, just to make sure you're following proper safety protocols while operating the instrument. We want ratio. There is a three-phase section with phases A, B, and C, but today we're just going to use the single phase. And now we're in the single phase testing menu. I want to first start with a ratio of 2, so I'm going to set my numbers. The top voltage number I'm going to put at 240 volts. Okay. Bottom one is already set to 120, so that would give us an expected ratio of 2. So let's make our connections. I'm going to start with the high side connections. So this is the test lead, and each test lead comes with 2 clamps attached to it. So we'll use that for H1 and H0. Connect those here, and we'll make the connection to our turns ratio standard. So H1 and H0 are connected. For the low side, we have another test lead with 2 clamps, and we'll make our connection here to X1 and X0. Put that in nice and tight. Connect those over here to our ratio standard. And we're ready to now run our test at 2 turns. And let's see how accurate we can get this. Make sure those are in there nice and tight. And start. The top line is going to give us the turns ratio. The second line is the deviation percentage, so how accurate is it compared to what we're expecting, and then the excitation current down here. So we've got our return, 2.0005 turns, and the percentage of deviation, 0.03%, very accurate, and the excitation current was just under 1 milliamp at 0.98 mA. We'll save that result inside the tester here. Click Save, and you can port those results to your PC through Bluetooth or USB cable with the port underneath that cap. Next, we're going to go ahead and let's try 1,000 turns this time. So inside the settings here, we're going to change our top voltage number to 120,000 volts. Our bottom number stays at 120, giving us an expected ratio of 1,000. And let me change my standard to 1,000 as well. And we're going to go ahead and run our test. So, ratio at the top, deviation here in the middle, and excitation current at the bottom. Tester's running right now, and you can see my statistics are down here. This is your nameplate information for the transformer you're working on. And we've got our results. Ratio 1000.1 at 0.01% deviation, nice and accurate. And that's 0.14 milliamps. Save that result too. And done. One helpful thing I want to show you when we're in the test screen is the diagrams. So, depending on the kind of transformer you're testing, you're going to want a different test setup than the one I'm using, including the leads. As you can see, we've got the different channels here. So depending on what kind of transformer you're testing, so here's a 3-phase setup. You can scroll through the 28 different diagrams and try to find the transformer you're testing in there, helpful for in the field. So all the different possible connections you might want to use. Let's try a winding resistance test now. We're going to select it here. We're going to select single phase. I've got the same connections set up here from our TTR test. We're going to use H0 and H1, X0 and X1. And we're going to get readings for both RH and RX. So it's going to give us a resistance reading for both of these. We've got a 1 ohm reference resistor connected here. So let's go ahead and run our tests, and both of these results should be about an ohm. So let's see what we get. It's showing us the current being output currently, and that is about 1 amp. The maximum output current is 1 amp for this. There we go. So it's doing the RH, now completing the RX. Let's take a look at those results. And those are definitely within spec for the unit and close enough to 1 ohm that I would call that a pass test. This button over here, you can save the results to the tester itself. You can add notes. I'm not going to add any notes. Let's just save it. That test is saved. When I want to port it out, again, down here with the USB port. And that's a single phase winding resistance test. You'll notice I didn't need to set the current. It automatically detects it, similar to a DLRO. You don't need to set the current. Just connect your transformer and start running. Easy as that.